But you've got the right idea, Zachary. I'm sorry, guys. I'm talking to Zachary on my before I get started here. But here we go. Simplify or solve. What's the answer, guys? This is going this quickly. What's the answer to A? Oh, look at what I just did. Square root. It's the positive square root, isn't it? Okay. So the answer is 11. They want the positive. Help me with B then. Who's got it? Teddy? It's going to be negative 11 because they want the negative of the square root of 121, right? Okay. Oh, good. Here we go. Zachary Kim, talk to me. What about x squared equals 121? What's x equal?
X can equal
11 or negative 11. And guys, let me show you a little shortcut which you may like to use and feel comfortable with. You can also write it this way. X is equal to positive or negative 11. But if you do that, guys, make sure that you always put the positive one on top. It's just convention to do it that way. Okay? What about D? Cole?
imaginary.
It's an imaginary number. Okay? Now, imaginary. Sorry, took me a second. There we go. It's an imaginary number. But Zachary, just to answer your question earlier, and guys, if you don't want to, please change the channel right now if you don't want to know the answer to this. I will come back to it later, but I don't want to confuse you with it. But if you feel comfortable where you are, you should listen. Okay? Zachary, we can actually multiply roots. Okay? The square root of 3 times the square root of 2 is equal to the square root of 6. Okay? I'll give you some examples later that show you why that's true. I just multiply the thing inside, as long as they stay under the square root. Okay? Now, do you agree then that the square root of 6 is also equal to the square root of 3 times square root of 2? Right? If I can multiply it, I can factor it. Right? Which means that the square root of negative 9 is equal to the square root of negative 1 times the square root of 9. Right? Those two things multiplied together. The square root of negative 1 has a name. We call it I. Not pi, but I. Okay? Square root of 9 is 3. We're going to put that in front of it. So the square root of negative 9 is actually represented as 3i. Okay? And we'll work with that because 3i plus 2i is equal to 5i. I squared is equal to negative 1. All right? So we'll do some more stuff with that. But you don't need to know it right now. That's in the don't need to know now box. Okay? Right now, we'll just call it imaginary. I does stand for imaginary. All right, good job, guys. Let's look at the next example.